I was really into Vikings at one point in my life
I've got an axe. I can go grab and
before I realized it was a thing white supremacists also are really into. And then I'm like, maybe
ruining
not.
things, man. Yeah.
Maybe not then.
Maybe not then.
We are not going to panic.
What the heck even happened to you, man?
Vengeance.
Shrimp Daddy! Ha 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 ha!
Give him a hockey stick!
What am I, a fucking magician, man?
Am I some kind of fucking magician, man?
Fucking nerd.
Whatever. It's not like we're professionals anyway.
And I'm not sorry anymore.
Time to big brain.
Every day, yes.
What is the airwolf of trains? Welcome, listeners, to episode 149 of the Laser Comb Podcast. Your favorite show where two dudes comb through classic television with a fine-tooth laser. I am one of your hosts, Kal.
And I am one of your other hosts, Christopher Siege Thorn.
Oh, I forgot we were supposed to talk like this. Today, continuing with our
Peak 2010s.
peak 2010s, where we cover episode 1 of some pretty substantial 2010s binge-worthy television. We started up with The Walking Dead. We followed it up with Game of Thrones. And now we are on Vikings.
That's right. Vikings, a pretty popular show of the 2010s.
Mm-hmm.
I had forgotten. Now, Netflix ended up acquiring the rights to Vikings and ended up taking over production of it with the follow-up series, Vikings Valhalla.
Never
I had
watched
forgotten
any
that
of it.
originally this was a Canadian show. This was a show
Yeah, it's like a
produced.
Canadian slash Iceland. What is it? It's like a joint. It's Canadian produced, but it's like Irish. Was it Icelandic? I can't remember what it was, but yeah, it's a Canadian show, or
Yeah,
it started.
Canadian show in the beginning. Yeah, Canadian show produced for History Television, not
Yeah,
not the History Channel.
not the
History
History Channel
which,
of America's fame
of
the
America's
American
airwaves.
airwaves. um,
No, History Television is a completely independent Canadian channel that has nothing to do with the History Channel. This was their first and I think only original scripted program that they ever did.
that I'm aware of.
And this show was co-produced by Shaw Media, which
That's
it, it
right,
says it in
right?
the opening
Yeah,
credits. It was another thing I had forgotten about before I rewatched this last night.
Ireland. It was Canada and Ireland.
Canada and Ireland. All
Yeah.
right. Yeah, Shaw Media. For American listeners, Shaw Media used to be one of the big Western Canadian telecoms. They were
Oh yes.
they were absorbed by Rogers Media, another one of the big Canadian telecoms a few years
The
ago.
parasitic, some will say symbiotic, but I'll say parasitic, mega media corpo that the North Americans must pay tribute to in order for the internet to flow through our homes.
Yeah, in Canada, our major telecoms are basically Bell Media and Rogers Media. There's TELUS as well. That's who I deal with. TELUS is smaller than the other two. TELUS is the smaller of the two. And indeed, TELUS actually uses Bell's infrastructure for their service.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. Anyway,
If you think you don't have competitive prices down in America, well, let me tell you, it's almost worse up here. Or at least I know that's the case for phone plans.
it's significantly
Canadians
worse
pay
up here.
yeah,
We have some of the highest telecom rates in the world.
yep.
Folks, how would you, American listeners, how would you like to pay $120 a month for a 20 gigabyte cell phone data plan?
Not even including home services.
Not even including home services. That's just for
How
your
would you
phone.
like to pay that? Oh, but you're thinking, oh, but that's in Canadian dollars. That's basically like $50 American, right? Wrong. It's like $75 American.
Yeah, it doesn't quite work like that. I actually, quick little sidebar. I actually, through my work, get a cell phone discount with TELUS. I had
Well,
to.
la ti da.
I actually had to confirm my employment with the company that I work for and everything to get it, but I actually get, compared to the number that I just said, I actually get a pretty cheap cell phone plan. The trade-off was I had to buy my phone outright, but
I usually buy my phones outright anyway.
bring my own device.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Vikings.
That's right, Vikings. Sorry, we went on a rant because the capitalistic hellscape is hard to avoid these days.
Yeah, we went on a little rant because, well, maybe as it were, perhaps going back to the days of raiding, going on raids and sailing across the Western Ocean for riches. Perhaps we need to get back to that. You know,
So what you're saying is
maybe we've come too far.
we've come too far, and it's time to return to the ways of old: pillaging,
Yeah,
raiding, sailing the
graping,
seven seas. That-
graping
that's
and
right.
pillaging.
Opening up our own vineyards is what he means to say. And talking about
Graping and grillaging.
and grillaging, yeah, grillaging warfare. That's what we need to get back to.
No. See, we're gonna be eating grapes and drinking grape wine while we're grilling. While we're grilling.
Oh shit!
Yeah, we're
I'm down
grilling,
for that.
We're grilling some we're grilling some moose over
Holy
here.
shit! Have you ever had grilled moose? I haven't, but that feels very Canadian. Oh, just grilling up some old moose burgers. Oh man, I bet that would be good. Can you hunt moose in Canada? Hold on.
No, I don't
The
think
real
so.
questions here on the Lasercomb podcast, people.
Yeah.
Can you hunt
I don't think you
moose
can.
in Canada? I've never heard, like I lived in like redneck country, right? And you'd think I know bear. I've had bear before. I'm pretty sure I've had moose, actually.
I think
Yes, you can hunt moose in Canada, but strictly regulated, requires specific licenses and tags, and it's not always in season. Designated hunting seasons often occur in Ontario, Alberta, Newfoundland. So outdoors card proper tags for an area and season, and you must follow specific provincial guidelines, etc.
All right. Well, there you have it, folks.
There you go. So if you want to grill up your own moose burgers, come to Canada.
Get in your long ship and
You
and
and go to
praise
one
the
of the coasts, and that's it. There's nothing in between.
praise the All Father.
I just did a Trumpism there. There's BC and there's Quebec, and there's nothing in between. Your face. Never do
Anyway.
that again.
Anyway, well, Cal, I believe both me and you have seen Vikings before. Yes.
A Vikings or two, I have observed. Yes.
Yes. What is your relationship with the show Vikings? How did you come across Vikings?
Way back in the day when my ex would pay for cable, and we would. I know it was called like TiVo in the States. That was just a company, but you could record.
Well, it was a device. TiVo was
Yeah,
like the original
TiVo was like a
PVR.
little. Yeah,
It's a box.
exactly. With a lot of cable packages that we had, at least in Canada, it had the ability to record shows,
Yeah.
and you would fast forward through the commercials. So what I'm trying to say is, it was better than it is now, where you can't skip the commercials that you get on Prime and other things. But no, what a weird.
Well,
We've
if you
grown
pay
up in
for
such
ad
a
free,
weird era.
if you pay for ad free, you don't have commercials.
How much more is that?
On Prime specifically,
$700-800 more a month.
$3.
Oh, okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah,
Not too bad.
hell of a lot better than YouTube Premium.
I only got to. Oh man, I do YouTube Premium, but it's because I listen to music. I watch a lot of like YouTube, and I share it like with my partner. But even then, because you get YouTube like music with it, and you can like download things, and I go offline a lot because my phone plan's $15. I have like 200 like megabytes like per month of data, right?
Right.
You could view that as the cost differential. I pay $15 for my phone so I can afford YouTube Premium for the household. Yeah.
So how did you actually come across Vikings though?
I came across it by seeing commercials for it and being like, holy shit, that looks rad.
Yeah.
And I was working graveyard shifts, 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. at the time. And the only way I got to watch anything was because we could like pre-record like different things on that, on like the PVRs. And you know what? I had like watched every single episode from beginning, and then like followed it week to week, waited for a new season, and like I was right there like on the show. And it was like I think you were watching it when it came out.
I was, yeah.
And the German lady, the head of housekeeping at my workplace, she'd be like, oh, did you watch Viking? I remember she bugged me if I hadn't yet too. She'd be like, did you watch the new Vikings? And I'd be like, oh no, I haven't watched it yet. And she'd be like, I have things to say. And I'd be like, oh man, Dorothea wants me to catch up on Vikings. I can't disappoint. But other than like you, the nice German woman I worked with, like nobody else watched it. Or they did, and they were like, oh, I've watched a little bit of it, or like they weren't really like watching every episode of it. But then I can't remember why or like how, but like a season 5 or maybe I like kind of just stopped following and like paying attention to it. And I might actually might go back and watch it from a certain season onwards, because I'm curious what certain offspring of a certain character that may or may not survive get up to, as the tale is kind of intergenerational.
Yes. And yet stars Travis Fimmel and Catherine Winnick don't age a day as the show goes on, even though their kids though their kids are like grown
Fimmel,
adults by the later seasons.
They do a decent job of making him look like he's getting older. And the show was on for a while, so they do age, but not like kids to adults age, right? They do a thing where they like shave his head and he looks tired and like older as like the show goes on. But the thing is, these are both very good looking models.
Well, and spoilers, but they kill him off in the show eventually too.
And very early on, there's like a prophet that tells him that it's like, oh, you're going to be like really famous. But let me tell you, your kids, way more famous. Fuck you. You're a loser compared to them. Your kids are going to do crazy shit. And he's like, uh, hmm. Oh, also, you're going to like die. You're going to get eaten up by snakes. You're going to go, they're going to get you. And he's like, oh, that doesn't sound good. I want to believe the good, like any good faith and any good faith based religion, I choose to believe the good parts and I will ignore
Everything else.
And I'll ignore everything else.
As is tradition.
What's your history with Vikings? And I mean the show as of now. We'll get into as a historical concept
As
later.
A historical concept. And I mentioned this during the Game of Thrones episode and the Walking Dead episode.
Mm-hmm.
I read a lot of entertainment news sites, like movie news, TV news,
right?
And when I say that, I don't mean like celebrity gossip. Like I don't mean gossip rags or anything like that.
Yeah.
But just like like news about like shows and movies that are coming out, reviews, interviews, that kind of thing. So I knew about Vikings that way. And I was married to a woman of Norwegian descent at the time, who was very proud of her heritage. I am also part Norwegian.
My partner is mostly. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
She's almost all Norwegian.
I am 1/3 Norwegian.
I think at all. Like, what am I? I'm Irish, Indigenous, and like Siberian, like
an Irish person,
Russian
in
steppes.
Canada?
An Irish person in Canada, mixed Indigenous in Canada. Next thing you'll tell me the French have moved in.
It's funny you mention that, and you're gonna know why when I start talking. You're gonna know why in a few minutes when I start talking about it. But yeah, I'm 1/3 Norwegian, and the rest of it is like a shit mix of the UK.
And
I think there's a little
people in the UK are shit mix of
exactly, yeah.
Out of
I think there's a little bit of like Spanish descent in there too, like from Spain. But yeah, I don't like glaze my my heritage too much. But anyway, yeah. So was married to a woman of Norwegian descent, who was very proud of her heritage, and as I mentioned on the last episode, she was really into Game of Thrones, and she was a nerd, like D&D, like fantasy settings, all of that.
Yeah.
So when I told her about this, I had read about this show that was coming out called Vikings. She got really excited, and she's like, "Oh my God, we have to watch it." And at the time, we knew a lot of people who liked to essentially like role play as Vikings and like beat the shit out of each other with weapons, wearing armor.
Some may say SCA.
That's exactly
what
some might say. Yeah,
some might say.
We knew quite a few people at the time who were into that. And
anyone wondering what that is, the Society for Creative Anachronism, there's like LARPing where they like throw fireballs and they beat each other up with buffer. And then there's like SCA where like, like they make chainmail and like they have like rattan like weapons and wooden shields and stuff like that. And like they actually like wear armor and get hurt and reenact like live action like combat scenarios. No fireballs to be had.
Not yet.
And then underneath both of those is Vampire the Masquerade LARP, where you settle conflicts by doing rock, paper, scissors. And that's where I excelled. What I'm saying is, look out. Don't mess with the Vampire the Masquerade LARPers.
So yeah, so we knew a lot of people at the time who were into that, so they were talking about the show Vikings a lot. So we checked it out like right away, like at release date. We got cable just to watch it on History Television when the
Oh
premiere
shit.
came out. Yeah.
So you too joined the ranks of the cable.
Yes, which I am still among at this point.
Vikings. It's the gateway
Anyway,
drug to cable. Anyway, yeah.
apparently. Anyway, so that's how I got into Vikings. We binged through or not binged. We watched because it was airing weekly. We watched through the first season and the second season, and then we got divorced, and then I fell off of the show.
Okay, so you've some of the best
But
Vikings you've seen. Oh,
but 6 years ago, when Assassin's Creed Valhalla came out, it got me wanting to
it's
check
been
out.
6 years.
Yeah, it came out in 2020.
Fuck.
Well, it came out in the end of 2020, so really, it's
So-
been a little over 5.
Still, that's
So playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla got me wanting to play or watch Vikings. So I went to Netflix and resumed watching Vikings, and I watched seasons 3 and 4 over the course of a couple of weeks. And then I fell off of it again. So I still got 5 and 6, and I got that follow-up series, Valhalla, to watch. But I'll do it sometime. Damn it. Now, story time. So last night when I just got home from work, I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch the first episode of Vikings. Where is it? It's on Netflix because, as I mentioned, they ended up like buying the rights to the show and taking over production of it. I'm like, okay, I'll go to Netflix. Oh, my Netflix subscription expired because I did like a one and done month to watch Wake Up Dead Man about a month ago.
we did like a one and yeah.
Very,
we did it
very,
for
very
something.
good movie. One of my favorite movies of 2025. Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery. Go watch that. So I was like, fuck, is it on anything else? I go to Just Watch, and it's like, no, just Netflix. And I'm like, god damn it. And then I check my cable box, because there's all kinds of, when you have cable, there's all kinds of things that are just available on demand through your cable box that you
That's
wouldn't,
cool.
yeah, that you wouldn't necessarily think of, like that
Yeah.
maybe aren't on streaming services, but like there's all kinds of like weird things that are just available on demand in the cable box. But unfortunately, Vikings wasn't there. So I was like, okay, well, I don't want to spend $27 for another month.
What?
Yeah, 'cause that's how much Netflix is now.
I remember when they like moved their price to like $9.99. People were flipping out.
I remember when Netflix first launched in Canada for $7.99 a month back in like back in like 2009, and I remember for the first couple of years that it was here, people bitched that it wasn't worth it.
And they
That
were
was
like,
very
oh,
much a
man,
thing.
like, Netflix, like US Netflix is like way better. Complaining, yeah.
Yeah. It's like $7.99 a month. Like, such a waste of money.
Ooh.
It's not worth it. And at the time, I was like, seriously, if you watch like 2 movies in the span of a month, it's paid for itself. Like, come on. So it's funny to me how much of a how ubiquitous Netflix ended up becoming, considering just how like boneheaded people were about it in the beginning. Anyway, off in the weeds. So I'm like, I don't want to pay like $27 to subscribe to Netflix again for a month just to watch this first episode of Vikings. And yeah, it's not available in the cable box. So then I'm like, I'm going to buy the episode. So I go into the Apple TV app on my phone. And it's like, oh, watch now. It's available on Tubi. I'm like, oh, okay. So I bring up Tubi on my TV. I type in Vikings. Nothing comes up. Not the show that I'm looking for. That doesn't come up. So I'm like, okay, what the fuck? So I go back to my phone and I just tap on the play now button. I'm like, okay, what is it going to take me to in Tubi? And it takes me to this weird, like very low budget, like period piece show in Russian. It's not the Vikings show that we're covering today. I don't know
And you
what the fuck
watched
it
that
was.
instead.
No, I didn't. I didn't watch that instead. But the story's not done here. So I was like, fuck, this isn't the show that I'm looking for. Okay, I just want to buy the episode, Apple TV app, but it's not giving me the option to do that. Finally, I have to go to the Apple TV app on my desktop, and there it actually lets me like buy the individual episode, the first episode of Vikings. I'm like, great, sweet, awesome, hallelujah. Name of the episode was Rites of Passage, which originally aired on March 3rd of 2013.
And you watched this where?
Getting to that.
Oh, okay.
So since I purchased it on the Apple TV app on my desktop, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go back to Apple TV on my actual TV because
Yeah.
same account, so the content carries over. So I hit play, and despite the name of the episode being Rites of Passage and the episode description being clearly readable in English, what Apple TV sold me was the French language version of the first episode of Vikings. And I'm like, God fucking damn it. I turn on subtitles. I'm like, oh, can I at least watch this subtitled in English? Nope.
Je m'appelle Ragnar.
I'm like, and it's like, nope, subtitles are in French too. And I'm like, for fuck's sake.
Wow,
I'm
not
like,
even English subtitles.
no, French subtitles. So I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. I'm like, oh, I guess I'll have to go pirate it. And then I stopped for a moment and I'm like, I look at my TV, I look at my remote, and I pick up the glass of wine that I had beside me. And I'm like, fuck it. And hit play and watched the first episode of Vikings in French. And no, I do not speak French.
Graveler. Je m'appelle Ragnar. Merde. Amazing. Picked up his wine.
So there I was last night in the middle of the night when I got home from work, sitting there drinking, having a nice glass of Pinot Gris as I watched Vikings in French.
That's
And
video filters.
and well, there it is. Now I kept the subtitles on because for American listeners, if you're unaware, Canada is a bilingual country, and indeed, this is the kind of thing you can potentially run into it living in a bilingual country is Apple just giving you the wrong language version of an episode. But in Canada, the country being bilingual, all the packaging on everything is in English and French.
And indeed has to be.
And yeah, it's the law. It has to be. A lot of older people hate it. I've never had an issue with it.
I didn't know people hate it. Again, we're the farthest from the French speaking side of Canada.
It's a very boomer Canadian thing to
okay.
hate on bilingualism. But anyway, so although I don't speak French, because I've grown up and spent my entire life reading French labels, and indeed being someone who's worked retail most of his adult life, I've learned what my ex referred to as retail French. I know retail French.
Yeah. Flake on demand, yeah.
Even though I don't actually speak French, I have a rudimentary. I can read it. I had a rudimentary enough level that this French language version of Vikings that I watched last night with the French subtitles on, I was actually able to follow most of the plot.
Particularly the due to the subtitles.
Strictly because of the subtitles.
You know what's weird? Listening to it, I'm like, oh man, I have no idea what these. I understand like 15% of what people are saying, but with subtitles, I'm like, okay, I understand like, and through context of having watched this first episode of Vikings probably like 4 times before.
I'd only seen it once before.
I can see that,
and that was 13 years ago now.
Okay.
So I didn't remember anything about what happened in the episode. But anyway, uh, with the French subtitles, because of my retail French knowledge,
Yeah.
because of the French subtitles, I actually was able to follow along with the plot, and most scenes I kind of picked up on the gist of what they were talking about, even if like a lot of it I didn't really understand, but like I kind of got the basics.
I have an equally interesting story of how I just watched this.
Okay.
I went onto YouTube and typed in Vikings episode 1, season 1, and someone had all of season 1 uploaded on YouTube. So I watched it in 180p.
Well, I will raise my horn to that, to you, brother.
All right. So this
Uh,
fucking thing.
Audio
So,
listeners, I have
audio
a legit
listener, he actually has a drinking
legit
horn.
yeah, I have a legit drinking horn that I'm holding. Why do I have a drinking horn, you ask? Well, remember how I just said I was married to a woman of Norwegian descent who was very proud of her heritage? When we got married, she wanted us to drink from drinking horns during our ceremony. And so I bought this is a legit, like, actual drinking horn. I bought each of us drinking horns for the ceremony. And
You
and I still have this all these years later. 13, as a matter of fact. We got married 13 years ago.
oh geez.
And we split
Time
up
flies.
13 or 11 years ago.
You kept the horn, god damn it.
But I kept the horn. And I didn't keep the drinking horn because of like for sentimental value or anything like that. I actually didn't particularly enjoy my wedding ceremony very much. I just keep it because I think it's kind of cool.
I was gonna say you just have it because it's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah. This fucking cup that I'm always seen with and like nothing else. I got this at M&M World in Las Vegas.
Wow.
3-story tall building of just M&M shit. Best. And you can make your own custom M&Ms there.
Wow.
Wow. You want watermelon M&Ms with like Kal printed on each one? You can get it.
Who wouldn't?
Who wouldn't? Specifically that.
Specifically Cal.
You know it's not very good? Watermelon M&Ms.
I'll take.
Was okay.
I don't really like watermelon, period, or watermelon flavored things. So I'll take
Sacre
your word for
bleu.
it.
Je m'appelle Bjorn Lothbrok. Kitty cat.
We're gonna take a quick break, and when we get back, we're gonna break down the episode of Vikings.
Budget, budget, budget breaking muffler. It's the friendly place to go when your breaker muffler's feeling low. Budget, budget, budget breaking muffler. There's no make or model that's too tough to get back on the road. Budget, budget, budget breaking muffler. It's the breaking muffler place where service is the star. You get total satisfaction when the friends of the family come. Budget, budget, budget breaking muffler. Budget, budget, budget breaking muffler. Budget, budget, budget.
So episode opens with a big old battle going on. Not a big old battle, small.
Well, the
battle.
end of a battle.
End of a battle. We got our hero Ragnar Lothbrok. He's fighting off some guys in a little field, and he's got a buddy there, also fighting dudes. They win the day. Ragnar. They give each other a big bro hug after the day is won. And Ragnar starts seeing visions of Valkyries taking away the dead Vikings into the sky.
Yeah, flashes of Odin possibly looking over the dead, the flashes of the ravens and that, and Valkyries taking some up.
Valkyries taking some bad CGI, by the way. Valkyries.
That's why it cuts in and out. Like it uses it sparingly because I think they knew if they lingered on a whole scene with CG angels, Valkyries, taking souls up to Valhalla. I think they knew it looked
Golden
bad.
Hall.
I think they knew it looked bad, so it's almost like visions rather than he's seeing something actually happening.
Well, and later on in the
Mercifully.
episode too, it's implied that he sees Odin, the Allfather,
And that
in a big
something
cloak.
that like Rollo is like envious of, because Ragnar starts to get too big for his britches and claim that he's actually Odin's son. Like
Hmm.
he's like a scion or an avatar or like a descendant of Odin. Now, I'd like to point out here that the two actors, the characters, Rollo and Ragnar, they are brothers. One of them looks 7 feet tall, and one of them looks 5 feet tall. One of them is light haired, and the other is dark haired. They look so not like brothers. I have family. I have siblings that I do. You, if you put me in a room with 10 people, they would be the last to guess that they're my siblings. So I get it. They can
One of them actually looks like he is of like Scandinavian descent, like maybe Icelandic or something. And the other one is very like looks like he's descended from like the UK.
Which one? We'll
uh,
never tell.
Never.
Um, so we find out that Rollo is the bigger, dumber one. I was gonna say loyal, but like the thing with the show is like on and off, Rollo lives in the shadow of his brother.
My ex-wife had a big thing for Rollo,
I
the actor who
bet,
played him.
especially when he gets his shirt off.
That's right.
That's right. We get to meet Ragnar's family. It doesn't say what the battle was about because that's kind of not important. It's
Uh,
just that
I got the impression it was a raid because they come back on their ship, and when they dock, there's like a bunch when they dock and disembark or like, get
I
off
think it was
the
like a
boat.
clan dispute or something.
There's like people like trading and whatnot like at the docks. So I think it was just a raid that they came back from.
But they hadn't gone on raids yet. Anyways, regardless, they do combat. They come back home, and what's going on here? We meet Ragnar's family. They have a small little like kind of hut in the side of a river, a fjord, and his wife's a hot blonde chick, and he's
Hmm.
got 2 kids. The kids are Bjorn and
Get
can't remember.
uh starts with a G.
Yeah, it's I like her name. I just can't remember because she's
Isn't it
not
Gita or
prevalent.
something?
Is it that sounds really familiar? Nagita or something, yeah. And Bjorn. The reason I remember Bjorn is because he becomes the main character in the series. Um, and someone else dies of the plague. Um, so he's like, "Hey, wife, I'm bringing Bjorn to the thing tomorrow."
Right.
And she's like, "No, wait until next year." And he's like, "Oh no, he's a man now. He's got to do it." It's like, okay, well, him and all the other men from the village, they all leave to go to the capital of their region, Kitticat. Um, and we get some scenes following Ragnar talking to his son. And he's like, okay, so tomorrow you're going to swear fealty to the Jarl. Or is that the right term? Is it
The
Jarl
Jarl.
or is it?
It's Jarl.
Is it? Yeah, it's
It,
the their
it's
Jarl.
Jarl.
Um, and you're going to get your band and you're going to be a man. But do you know what that means? And I like that little conversation. There's a lot of interesting family
This is
moments in the
yeah,
show.
this is when they're out in the woods, right?
Yeah, they're just walking to where they're going
Yeah.
in the middle of the wilderness, just like, oh, don't worry, I know exactly where I'm going. Um,
See, my rudimentary understanding of French came into play in this scene because I did pick up on the gist of like he was telling Bjorn like this is what it means to be a man and
mhm.
yada yada yada.
Oh, that's right. You watched the thing, and it's like, oh, I have to fight, and he's like, no, there's more to
Yes,
it than
that's right. I
that.
watched the thing
In French.
in French.
Um,
Yes.
and it's like more, oh well, if anything happened to me or I couldn't come back, would you be able to look after your our family? Oh, but that's your job. You're supposed to look after your family. So
Gita.
already
I was
there's
right. Their daughter's name is Gita.
Gita. So he's got, I don't know if he's planning on leaving home. More on that in future seasons. But or like expects that he's going to die, but he knows that he wants to do something risky. And we
Right.
find out what the episode's about. Jumping around here because I just want to talk about the major points. There is going to like the Jarl's Longhouse, where there's kind of like a court of rough like court of peers determining if people are guilty or not. Um, and there's also like the ceremony where all the kids of age come to swear
Well,
fealty.
before that, and this is kind of an important scene. Before that,
Mhm.
there's a
Oh
scene.
yes,
There's a scene in Ragnar's like little hut
after
with
they leave, yeah.
Rollo and his son and Ragnar's son Bjorn. I think it's funny that Bjorn is straight up. He's like a young child. He's straight up drunk in this scene.
I forgot that they meet up with him and they're like, "Oh, let's go and have a drink." And yeah, he's like sipping from his like drink, and he's like
He gets up and
wavering.
goes to bed. There's this kid who's like maybe like I don't know, like 8 or 9 years old. Like goes to
Well,
bed
they say he's
drunk.
12.
Oh, they say he's 12. I don't know. I'm bad at telling people kids' ages. Kids are
But
kids to me.
they say
But he looks
that, but
young.
also you watched it in French. Who knows how old the actual actor was? But he looks younger than 12, 13. Yeah.
He does look younger than 12 or 13, yeah. So anyway, so this kid like goes to bed drunk, which I found kind of hilarious. In this scene, this is where Ragnar first pitches the idea and tells Rollo about his plans to like build a longship and like sail out west for like all of these like vast riches.
Then he's like, "Oh, this again, brother.
And he's like, "Ah, but look at this.
I met a
I."
traveler." And he's like, "Oh, another traveler. Okay. Come on. What did you waste your money on this time?" And he's like, "Shut up and listen.
He's like,
Um,
"I got this thing. It's a
get some water."
compass."
He's like, "Shut up and get water." So it's funny that Ragnar is he the older brother? Because like he orders Rollo around a lot, but he's a lot smaller.
He's the old. I'm pretty sure he's the older brother.
Must be the older one. Yeah. um, and so he explains to him how the floating sundial works. And
Right.
Rollo's kudos to him. He's smart enough to understand. I'm like, yeah, sure. Like, I guess that's how a sundial works. You guys are the Vikings, not me. And he's like, but what if there is no sun?
Yeah.
Check this out. The Mystic Traveler gave me a fucking crystal. And Rollo's
Yeah.
like, okay.
Okay, so I was able to follow along,
Yeah.
getting the gist of what they were talking about, like through this scene.
Mhm.
But when he pulls out the crystal, this is where it kind of lost me. So I wasn't able to like translate in my head like what was going on in this
So
scene. So I
essentially, it's a
didn't
navigation
I
stone.
didn't understand the significance of the crystal.
So it's the navigation stones. These are real things. They've like found them and proven they work. What it does is when it's overcast out, you can hold it up, and it's polarizing certain quartz. I think it is. I'm
Hmm.
not exactly sure. They don't explain it in the
It
show,
looks
but
like quartz, yeah.
it's a thing. And if you hold it up, you can find out where the sun kind of is in the sky a lot easier, and then actually use it to directly cast. It's like an anti-diffuser. It polarizes the light, so you could still theoretically use the sundial.
Well, yeah, and indeed, like when he first holds it up to the sun, like the light like intensifies at his eye at first, and he's like, ah,
Yeah, fuck off.
which
Yeah.
I thought was kind of funny.
So he's on to something,
Yeah.
this Ragnar fellow. But here's the thing: he doesn't get to decide where he goes.
Yes,
The
he
Jarl.
he he has to pitch his idea to the Jarl.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's why I wanted to bring this scene up, because this scene happens before they go to the Jarl's longhouse, and it's kind of an important scene.
Mm-hmm. And another important scene is when all the men are gone. The creepy vineyard specialists that specialize in grapes
Yeah.
show up. So two creepy dudes show up and they're like, "We know all the men are gone." And
If you're
Lagertha,
listeners, if you're watching the video version, the faces Cal was making, not an exaggeration.
I usually try to exaggerate things, but like kudos to the casting on the
Those
two
guys
dudes you
were
wouldn't wanna
actually
see in
like,
an alley. Hey girl, you can't help but notice that all the men in your village are gone. um,
oh, and it's like it's bad like right away, because like when their daughter Gita, who is a child, walks by them, they like as she goes by.
yeah, and she's like, "Oh,
I'm
Gita,
like,
go feed
ugh.
the goats." So Lagerta is her mom is not
Lagertha.
expressing to her not expressing to her daughter that there's a dire situation approaching. And indeed, she's like, "Oh, I'll give you water, I'll give you food, but otherwise, you have to get the fuck out of here."
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, "Oh, we'll have our fill of food and water after we get our more masculine urges, our physical needs of might." And she's like, "Oh," and she kind of like gives them like a, "Oh, well, follow me" kind of look. But she's just trying to not let on that she is moving over and grabbing a poker from
A
the
hot
hearth.
poker from the fire, and she
And she's like,
smacks one of them in the face with it.
so she fights them. It's clear that she has them outmatched. And indeed, she brands one of them with it, pins him down, and holds it against his face. And the other one, she uses a fishing gaff, like the "I know what you did last summer" like hook,
Yep.
and slams it into the side of his face. So both of them, convenient actually, both of them have scars on their face, which is what you're supposed to do when grape enjoyers show up. Leave like visible marks so that if they're apprehended, they that part is obvious. And I thought she was going to kill them or something like that. She kicks them out, like, "Go on, get out of here," as if like the punishment like fit the crime.
Mm-hmm.
You could have killed them, is what I'm saying, like very easily. But she like took one of their axes and like hit the other guy in the butt and was like, "Get out of here and stay out." And I was
And,
like, "Oh,
and don't come
okay.
back.
And if you come back, I'll give you one of these and one of these." So kudos on the restraint, I guess. But I mean, as we'll find out, a grape or two on the show is very common in this era, and
As was common of the time.
as was common of the time, I suppose. And indeed is not technically like legal, as a lot of conflict is drummed up around that, or the attempts of that in later seasons.
It's not legal
Against citizens.
amongst your kin or your clansmen,
Ye-
like people in your
ye-
village. You can do whatever you
yes.
want to the enemies or slaves, though.
Oh yeah. That's a big part of the raids.
Hence, graping and grillaging.
Exactly. So she defends her home. When we go back to the village, there are different trials. One guy is
Sexy
guilty,
and tough.
sexy and tough, and a MILF. We find out that she's a famous shield maiden.
Mm-hmm.
later on. And in fact, while they're traveling, we skimmed over it, and perhaps because it was in French, we missed it. Um, when they're camping out before they reach the village, the capital, he tells Bjorn of how he wooed his mother, how he had to go through like the wilderness, and before he like approached their domain, a bear and a great hound guarded.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah. This was a scene that I couldn't
Translate,
decipher.
yeah. And he killed the bear with his spear and strangled the wild hound with his bare hands. And that's how he like
With his
earned
bare hands.
with his bare hands, which
So
he acquired after he killed the bear with
after
his
he killed the
spear.
bear.
Yeah. It's like Monster Hunter. You'd use the parts of the monsters to make new weapons. I just imagining him walking around with like bear claws on. Did your mama say anything like that? Is that the same story that she told? And he's like, something like that. Bjorn is actually really funny when he's young. Like, I'll give kudos to the actor. He's funny. He pulls it off, I think, really well.
Hmm.
So right away when we meet the all
That
hail,
that doesn't necessarily convey in French dubbing, unfortunately.
I imagine not. When we meet the Jarl, my immediate thoughts is hot goth wife, but holy shit, is this guy a piece of shit? Like, oh, and his like
Doesn't
right
she
hand
end up
man,
with doesn't she end up with Floki eventually?
Rolo. I Because Floki's married. He's married with two I can't remember her name, but she's like a blonde chick. Like he is
Also,
technically.
a blonde chick, also with dark makeup around her eyes all the time.
And
That's why I thought it was this chick, was because of the blonde
no,
hair and the
I
eye
think
makeup.
her and Rolo have a thing
Oh, okay.
later. So it looks like she was just crying or gagging or something, choking or something like that, which I gotta say, it's a good goth look.
Gagging or choking.
Yeah, yeah.
What was she gagging or choking on, Cal?
Probably feasting on some sort of bones. That's a great feast. One or two. Based on this show, probably two. You can't fit that many bones in your mouth. Come now. And his seneschal or his like right hand man or whatever,
Come
that kind of
on, she
like
can fit at
bald,
least two.
at least two. Um, the guy who talks like this, and I have to make announcements for my Jarl. Holy shit, do I hate them. I hate the Jarl and his like stupid like right hand man so fucking much. If you remember them from like seasons 1 and 2, I
No.
hate them.
No, I didn't
Um,
remember anything about this episode, but prior to watching it,
we
honestly.
find out he's a corrupt piece of shit who condemns a man to death. What else am I missing here? They do the ceremony.
Yeah, he has a guy executed, and I couldn't figure out exactly
He has
why.
a guy executed because he had a landowner neighbor that he was having a dispute with. And he said that the other guy grabbed a blade and tried to fight him, and he had to kill the guy in self-defense. But the thing is, when you do that, you're supposed to report that to the first person you see, or go seeking neighbors to report it. And he had skipped a certain number of houses before he reported it. And the law says, in Viking law, that in the region at the time, had said that you can skip up to two houses and no more to declare certain crimes like or self-defense. And he had skipped more than two. And his claim was, well, he
It
didn't
seems like such
want.
an arbitrary law. But whatever.
And
This was oh yeah, this is we at the beginning of the episode
oh
we
right,
find out that this is set in the year 793.
yeah, 793. And we find out that the Jarl had an interest in buying the land from the other guy, and that's the guy that died.
Hmm.
But this guy isn't charismatic enough to kind of like please the crowd. So when they're like, "Oh, like we should vote on who thinks he's guilty," and there's a part where it's like, "Oh, the vote needs to be unanimous," and Ragnar hits Bjorn, and Bjorn is like, "Oh," puts up his hand because everyone present has to vote, and so it's like, "Okay, you're found guilty, so you will be executed. How do you want to die?" And the guy's like, "Beheading, I guess." So the next day, he's beheaded.
Yeah, big public ceremony. Everybody, the crowd goes wild when his head gets lopped off, which I find extremely barbaric. But I mean,
Viking-ish, even. Yeah. He does something and it bothers Bjorn. So he's got some good instincts, and he because the Jarl says, feed it to the pigs, and everyone goes, "Whoa, what the fuck?" And they calm down real quick, and they're like, I curse him, may he not enter Valhalla. And also taking away like the human dignity of like fleet feeding his like body to like the pigs instead of like burying them or burning them at sea. And Bjorn's like, "What? Why did he do that?" Ragnar's like, "Oh, he should not have done that." And he's like, "Well, what? Why?" And Ragnar's like, "Well, welcome to how things are done here."
that's
And
that's the world, son.
that's the
That
world.
that kind of sucks.
Yeah, that guy fucking sucks. What
Jarl
do we got? We
douchebag.
got we got them visiting Loki, Floki.
Well, this is when before he goes to visit Floki, because this is when he goes to the Jarl, or where they're like drinking in like the Jarl's like longhouse, and
Right.
this is where he talks up like his idea about like sailing west, and the Jarl is kind of like, yes, I've heard about all of these bullshit rumors of like great riches beyond like the Western Sea, but it's just that it's all rumors and bullshit. I don't want to hear any more of this.
Yeah. So he shuts that down right away.
Then Ragnar is just like, ugh, well, whatever. But then Jarl Douchebag's little crony comes up to Ragnar and is like, hey, Jarl Douchebag, he wants to talk to you, but in private. Come with me.
Right.
Come with me. And this conversation I had a hard time understanding, but what goes on between them. But Ragnar and the Jarl have like a back and forth where the Jarl basically like tells him no and forbids him from going.
And is like, "Oh, and don't like speak up and undermine me
Yeah.
in public again, you little bitch. I'm the Jarl, not you." Because he's threatened and because Ragnar is charismatic and convincing.
Well,
Because
yeah,
people were like,
because indeed,
full
like
rats.
Ragnar, like he wasn't even properly addressing like the Jarl. Like they were just like all like in his like
It
house.
was
Like
during the feasts, yeah.
it was during the feast, and Ragnar, like just with a drink in hand, just like stands up and like just starts talking about this, and everyone is like, "Ooh, tell us more."
Mm-hmm. So he didn't like that at all.
He don't like that. So he's been forbidden from going on this big epic raid that he wants to go on. But he's like, fuck that. I'm going to do it anyway. So
I've got a
let's.
friend
I've
who
got a
lives in
friend.
the
I
woods
got a friend who lives in the woods, and
and he likes to make boats.
so him and Bjorn venture out into the forest, and Ragnar is basically like, "Oh, we're going to meet an old friend of mine, Floki. He's the best like ships builder I've ever known." And they meet up with him, and yada yada yada. Ragnar is like, "Oh, can you do it?" And he's like, "Oh, of course I can do it. But you see, like I'm gonna need all these materials, and then of course there's the time, and then the labor, and Ragnar tosses him a satchel of coins. He's like, "Will this cover it?" And he takes it out and looks at it, and he's like, I think this is a nice start."
I think this could get us on our way. Leave it to me, Floki, best builder in all of this forest. So Floki's a little bit of an odd one. He's like 10 minutes away from corpse paint himself. There's something else too. Like they need iron for an anchor, which ends up getting them busted in like the next episode or so later. Are we forgetting anything else that happens in the episode? Oh, Rolo like takes a pass at
Yeah, Rolo's like
Lagertha?
macking pretty hard on Lagertha.
And he's
And
like, I've always wanted you, and that my penis is much bigger than my brother's, right? And she's like, fuck off, dude. But I've been look smaxing. Come now.
you know,
Um,
I let you and Ragnar tag team me that one
that
time when
one
we
fucking
drank
time years ago,
when we
and
had too much mead, and you haven't let me live that down. That was college, god damn it. We were experimenting. We're adults now, though.
yeah, Ragnar was able to just like move on and like past it, but no. And he's like, what can I say? You got that addictive, like you got that shield maiden puss. I have to come
But
back.
but Lagertha, remember though, I was the only one who stuck it in your tush.
What a perfect line to leave that on. I don't think there's anything much. I think it leaves with that dramatic.
The episode ends with like the dramatic reveal of like the boat that Floki has built.
Oh, that's right. And it looks like there's a spy. Yeah. There's like one of the there's a man like looking out from the forest who's like, like spying on. And
Oh, there's one scene where Ragnar and Bjorn go to see like the village seer.
yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And the seer like tells him that he's gonna do like all of these great things basically,
And
and
he's like, oh, do you want me to give a reading to your son? And he's like, no, forget him. Me.
and it ends on like a really like weird note. He's like, and now for my payment, and he sticks his hand out and like
You're like, okay, money or some
money,
such.
but then Ragnar like slowly like licks his palm, and I'm like, ugh. And especially since like the seer, who's like this really like disfigured, like ugly.
He has like no eyes. There's some ghastly looking people.
He looks like he was like in a major fire. He looks like he was burned alive.
Yeah.
But after like Ragnar like licks his palm, he's like
That's how I see the future, Ragnar.
I see your future when
You know what,
make
man?
me come.
I don't think I'd ever learn my future. Yeah, how much do you think he washes his hands?
Probably never. That's probably his fapping hand.
That's probably. Think of all the people that have licked my hand and all the faps I've done. You think I wipe my ass with my other hand?
His hand gets licked, and immediately it just like goes down to his crotch afterward.
And now spit on it. Yes. Spit on it, Ragnar Lothbrok.
Well, I think that's pretty much
that
it
covers
for the episode. We're going to take one more break, and when we come back, Cal is going to ask me the eternal question of would I tune in again?
Hey, all you wave jammers, cruise over to the coolest game around. Check it out before you commit and learn how to score big. Challenge the future now. Turn on Video and Arcade tomorrow at 6:30 p.m.
Well. Siege Lothbrok of Clan Drinking Horn. You've just watched episode 1, season 1.
Christopher
of
Siege Strum.
Strum. There we go. Siege Strum. You've just watched episode 1, season 1 of Vikings
In French.
in French. It's hard to gauge because you watched it in French. But if you could see episode 2 in English, would you tune in next week?
Well, here's the thing. Despite watching it in French, and as I mentioned, not speaking verbal like French whatsoever, but being able to having like a rudimentary understanding of like French text, French subtitles.
Yeah, you just
enough,
randomly caught this on TV on a channel that's in French.
yeah, which there are many, even in Western Canada. Would I tune in again? See, I was able to actually follow along despite only being able to pick up on maybe 20% at best of the conversation.
But given
I was still
situations
able to follow along and was interested enough that I was never bored watching it. The episode never lost my attention at all while I was watching it and trying to decipher the French language. So yes, I would tune in again, actually. I would even tune in again in French.
So stay tuned as Christopher Siege learns French by watching Vikings. The Canadian and Irish
I learned
TV
French
show.
By watching a Canadian and Irish co-production of a show about ancient Vikings
that are invading
in Denmark.
The Vikings do go to the French lands later. Spoilers.
They do.
Years and years later, but
years and years later. And indeed, Rollo ends up spoilers. Rollo ends up becoming like the first Duke of Normandy.
Like the first Duke of Normandy. Yeah.
Yeah.
This show helped me learn what the deal with Normandy even was.
Yeah.
I didn't realize they were all like Norse folk.
Oh yeah,
land to
Normandy was it was
which makes sense because the Norman is literally it's in the name, and they were like, why don't you guys settle right there? That way you guys can have some farms and stuff and also help us.
Yeah. And you can just have all this land, this prime farmland to live. Don't raid us anymore, and maybe we can help each other out. And Rollo's like, how many wives can I offer have?
How many wives can I have? And he's like, only one, but hear me out. I only have one daughter. You see this hot French chick? She rallied the people to defend the walls.
Mm-hmm.
You don't speak her language. She doesn't speak yours. Maybe she just needs a good, strong man to,
Maybe she just needs a nice, good Nordic pounding to really put her in her place.
We're not exaggerating anything that actually. This is a plot of season 4.
Yeah.
We just actually summarized 80% of a whole season of Vikings.
Yep, pretty much. So spoilers for later episodes of Vikings. What about you, Cal? Would you tune in again?
I would. This got me kind of back into it. I don't know if I would go through whole of season 1 and 2 and then 3. I think I'd pick up at 5.
I'm thinking, yeah, that's where I left off as well. I'm thinking of maybe jumping back in from season 5.
Yeah,
onward.
But as terms of just this episode, oh yeah, I'm all for it. Oh, and the intro. At first, you're like, oh, the intro's kind of slow.
Mm-hmm.
But it grows on you and it's fitting and it kind of slaps.
The song, fuck, I can't even remember where it was, but I was watching something recently And the song that is the theme song, it's called If I Had a Heart. Can't remember who it's by.
Yeah.
It was in something else that I saw recently. It was just like playing like
Oh,
during a scene in like another show or a movie that I was watching, and I was like, why does this sound so familiar? And then when like the vocals came in, I'm like, it's the fucking Vikings theme. But I can't
by
remember what it
Fever
was.
Ray.
I can't remember what it was that I was watching, but I just thought it was. I never.
I've run across it too, and I'm like, hey, it's Vikings.
I just never encountered that before. Where like the theme song of a show, like the show used as a theme, the song used as a theme, just for a TV show for a long period of time, just casually like pops up in another show or movie. Anyway, thought that was interesting. So yeah, you'd tune in again. I would tune
Hell
in
yeah.
again in both
Hell
English
yeah.
or French.
Um, Here's the thing, much like anime or like foreign films, I feel like the English is the best, the native language is the best. Not always, but I imagine that the French dub is pretty good.
It
But I
wasn't
think I'll
bad
stick with
actually.
English.
It wasn't bad. Like
Yeah,
it, yeah.
I'm curious. One thing that they do on the show, the English version, is they'll be speaking Old Norse, and then it will like meld into English. They'll
Mm.
actually show the subtitles. Like he'll be like Bruce now, Isvar Ragnar, right? And it'll show the subtitles, but then as they're talking, it like gradually like melds and switches into English.
I'd
I
forgotten
kind of
about
like
that.
that.
They don't do
And
that in
it'll
the
do
French
that
dub.
throughout the different like episodes to remind people that, oh, like, hey, like this is what like old English sounded like, and they're Vikings. And oh, when Ragnar is listening to the monks later, they're all speaking in Latin or something in like something like that, and or whatever languages they when that's not even called like English, it's like Northumbria or something like that.
You ever see the movie The Witch?
Which the fuck is the that's
Came out about a decade ago. Starred Anya Taylor-Joy. It was kind of her breakout role.
the witch?
Oh, it
No.
was Robert Eggers' debut film before he did The Lighthouse.
Yes. Then okay, yeah.
The Witch, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
I liked that.
I did not, but
I can see why.
I found it's honestly like one of the most depressing movies I've ever seen.
I don't know if I like it or if it's not happy.
No, it's
Man,
not. I was
no,
miserable after I watched it.
it is a good movie, but I don't want to watch it again.
Yeah. The reason why I brought it up is because they in that movie they use like period what they
Oh,
believe to
right.
be period accurate version of English. But it is so I had to watch it with subtitles, and this was a time before I started
Oh,
just
yeah.
doing that on the regular. I had to watch it with subtitles because I couldn't understand what they were saying. They may as well have been speaking another language.
Were we supposed to even be able to understand? Because I watched it with subtitles, and at no point did I. There were some words that like translated over, but
Yeah,
shows how much language changes and how fast and often it does.
yeah,
What
over
a bit
time.
sad movie. When they call the goat Black Sam, Black Sabbath, Black Adam. I can't remember the iconography. Also, the
Black
poor
Jack Black.
family. The, it's
Black
about
Billy?
witches, folk. Black Black Betty. Oh, Black Betty. Yeah, it's about and not like the cool like man, this is like really like local talk. Not cool island witches that believe in like crystals and like uh, I don't know, magic. But like sacrificing and eating fucking babies.
Yeah, kidnapping babies and then literally grinding them up with a mortar and pestle.
And wasting no time doing it too. Like
Yeah.
in and out, killing babies, grinding them up. Holy shit. That
Yeah,
I don't even know if that's a horror as so much as it is like survival horror. Not like
that
survival horror video game, like because it's about the family starving and not
Mhm.
having enough crops and the baby going. Oh, it's
That movie
depressing.
is utter misery.
It's and you're like, people lived like this.
Yeah.
They didn't even have to. Oh, one of the kids
Our
is sick,
ancestors
and
undoubtedly go back far enough. We have ancestors who would have lived like that.
like just the being like, oh man, like being able to like have light and like warmth and going down to the store and buying like whatever the fuck you want, man.
Speaking of which, I gotta turn the heat on in my place. It's getting cold in here.
Getting cold. Start a fire. Pray. As the cold times come, we pray by candlelight.
I pray that Searcher and his fire giants bring warmth down from the sky upon us.
I pray that
Searcher, who is behind me.
if anybody is worth praying to, it's that guy. I pray for the dog, the friendly dog that's going to help eat the planet at Ragnar. I pray that he chews through his chains faster, because we need some wicked people eaten. The dog's name? It's a wolf's name. Wolf, chained,
Fenrir.
fuel, Fenrir. Thank you. Oh yeah, do we want to mention tattoos? Or are we just gonna?
Or Fenris. Oh yeah, I got
Fenris.
runes on me.
We got runes. It says maximal in Old Norse. I actually don't know what that means. You've told me, I'm sure, but
the runes, you can't see all of it because it wraps
because
like
it
all the
wraps
way
around, yeah.
Most of the way around my arm. Yeah, about 3/4 of the way. But it translates to Woden Hirst, which is the name of a Heidelwolk song
Oh,
that came out in 2008 that I've been
2008.
fond of for a very long time. It was a tattoo that my the aforementioned Norwegian descended ex-wife of mine. It was a tattoo that she did on me. I like to say my ex-wife scarred me for life in that sense.
Literally.
But the tattoo was kind of a thing for me to acknowledge my Nordic heritage, which I think is kind of cool, and it's also technically a metal tattoo.
Pretty metals. And
It's
the
the
other
name of a
Norse
metal
tattoo lower down your forearm has a fox on it.
Yes, I have it's very old and faded now. But
Anybody that knows.
Anybody that knows. Once in a while, someone will actually recognize it IRL, and I'm always like, "Oh, that's cool."
The Shagohad.
What
then
about
start
you?
talking about Metal Gear. What about me?
You got any Viking tattoos?
Got like I was really young and I got a stupid like knot tattoo on my back. I don't even know if it was seen.
You can see it a bit. Yeah, you can see about half of it.
That's the only thing I have. If I could go back in time, we'll be like, all right, you need to chill and wait until you're like 30 and then get some tattoos. What else would I tell myself? Also, don't go to college.
Well, if I had told myself to not to get to wait until I was 30 to get tattoos, I probably would have never got tattoos because by that point in my life, I'm like, they're too fucking expensive. It's not worth it.
Fair. We're a different era.
Mm-hmm.
We're a different era where everything's more expensive and Vikings aren't as cool as they used to be.
No, there was a time where I was really into like Vikings and Viking shit, like back in the 2000s when I was listening to a lot of Amon Amarth and going to Amon Amarth concerts and headbanging and watching documentaries about Vikings.
Hell yeah.
And then in the 2010s, I found out that a lot of white supremacists are also into that shit too. And I'm like, oh.
Ooh, I used to rock the
Maybe not then.
and much
They
more so
they
that's
ruined it for everybody.
yeah, like the iconography. I'm like, well, we're bringing that up again. Weren't we in an era where we were free from the Nazi like cultural appropriation of Viking iconography,
Yeah.
which was a thing then, which is why the skinheads, I guess they're not called that anymore. They're just called fucking white supremacists. Why they picked it back up. Um, for the longest time, I used to rock undercuts
Mm-hmm.
with like short hair. Um, they started adopting that. So out of protest, I kept that hairstyle, but just never cut the top of my hair. So I can still be a little Vikings. You see a lot of side shaves in this Viking show. A lot of long hair with the sides shaved.
I was noticing that when I was watching this last night. I'm like, wow, these are a lot of like early 2010s like millennial haircuts going on in
And
this
when
show.
did the show? Yeah.
Early
Mhm.
to mid 2010s millennials
You know what
haircuts in the
sucked?
show. And I don't know if the haircuts are actually period accurate or if they're just indicative of what a lot of haircuts that were in style at the time.
Or how much it shaped it.
Yeah.
Because I did see a lot of women braiding the sides and tying back. Like there was a lot of people that liked, a lot of men liked Lagertha, and a lot of women liked Lagertha, probably for similar, but probably for different reasons. And there's whole boards on Pinterest about her fashion and her
Hmm.
hair.
I can see that.
And indeed, the wardrobe and what's it called?
Hmm.
Costuming and like hair and makeup have won awards on the show.
Oh,
So
I believe that. Absolutely.
yeah.
It's very
So
I wouldn't be surprised if it won awards for art direction
period
as well.
accurate.
Yeah.
Cool. Yes. Period accurate. I don't know. But there it is.
Well, that was episode 149 of the Lasercomb podcast. If you want to support the show, go to patreon.com/lasercomb, LAZORCOMB. Starting at the $5 tier, you get access to our bonus weekly Patreon exclusive show, the Kal Siege Super Show. We just recorded episode 114 of that.
Oh, that
Uh,
adds up.
At the $10 tier, you get that. You get the occasional commentary track, and you get the ability to pick a show for us to review our episode of on this very podcast. So if you want to get in on that, go to patreon.com/lasercomb. If you want to interact with us, join the Discord. There's a link in the description of this and every episode that we produce. We will be back next week with our final installment of Peak 2010s, where we're going to be talking about the first episode of one of my favorite shows of all time. We're going to be talking about Black Sails.
Never watched it.
Which I'm pretty excited about. I'm excited and also nervous because I've watched through Black Sails twice over the years, and I remember the show starting off rocky but getting really good really quickly in season 1.
Okay.
About
Okay.
halfway through.
I have a
So-
tolerance. So, well, do you know what I mean? I'm like, I know how rocky things can be. Let's give it a shot.
Yeah, I hope you like it. Actually, I have a coworker who doesn't listen to our shows, but he's interested in the fact that we do the show. So he always like
I have
asks.
friends like that.
So he always asks about it, and I mentioned that we were going to be doing Black Sails, and he got really excited. He's like, "Oh, I fucking love that show." I was like, "Oh, hey!" And then we ended up talking about Black Sails for a while. So I'm pretty stoked to revisit it. I actually I own the complete series on iTunes or on Apple TV already, so I don't even need to buy anything or look for anywhere to stream it. So there it is. We'll be back next time with that, and I have been one of your hosts. Until then, Christopher Siege.
And I'm your other host, Bjorn Neokal.
Thanks for listening. We will
Grillage. No, I'm not. No. No, we're not grillaging or
we,
grilling.
we will grillage your some moose burgers for you next time, there, bud.
Oh, throw that moose right on the grillage.
Bye bye.